Hey guys, Jason the X for SCNS Live, powered by Sunlinks.com. This is the review of the Fansprojects LERO2 Cubrar and Tekour. Now, I've had this guy for quite a while, and if you follow me on Instagram or Twitter or anything, you know I've had him. And I haven't gotten to the review of him. Mainly because I was having a problem with the transformation, and I'll get to that. But he is, this is slag. If that's a bad word, we'll say slug. And it is a very, very great Dinobot. I love Fansprojects' take on the Dinobot. So anyway, let's go ahead and take a quick look at the package he comes in. So yeah, he comes in a smaller box than the one that Cubrar came in. Or, I'm sorry, not Cubrar, Columpio. On the side, you get a look at the figure. On the top, nice shot of him in Dino mode. There's one with Tekour riding on top of him. And on the back, you get a couple action shots of the character with his guns and the big axe that he has. There he is in the dinosaur mode. Now, I'm holding on to these boxes because they all look like they connect into something. However, here's Columpio's box. And as you can see, there's no matchup here just yet. It might come maybe on the other side over here. I don't know. Let's try it out. Let's see. Nope, not quite there. It won't go down there. There's clearly another Dinobot's hand right up on top there, but we don't know which one that's going to be. So yeah, I'm holding on to these boxes, and they're awfully big, so I wish they'd kind of hurry up. I know Swoop is next, so I really, really like Swoop. So anyway, here we have Cubrar in his Triceratops mode, one of my favorite dinosaurs from when I was a kid. Comparison-wise, here he is next to Columpio. And there seems to be a little bit of a size problem here. I feel like Columpio should have been a little bit bigger. But still, I love the gold and silver on these guys. They're great representations of the Dinobots. And of course, along with him, you get a couple of accessories here. You get a really cool looking sword. And here's a comparison with Columpio's sword. Just can see it's a little bit thinner, but they're about the same size. So yeah, it's a little bit thinner, but not as long. So yeah, pretty cool. He does get twin cannons here. And you can also fit these. They have peg holes on the sides. You can fit them into the sides of his shins here. Side legs, there you go. But also, he comes with a little robot partner. He comes with Tekour. And Tekour's not too bad of a robot, except there's like no paint on his face. It almost looks like they put a little bit of blue on the eyes. I think it just might be the shading on. There might be some blue on there. It looks like there is some. But yeah, he's a small bot. Not too shabby on the articulation. You got a little bit of toe action going here. Knees that'll go past 90 degrees, mainly due to the transformation. No waist articulation. His head is on a swivel. Arms have double ball joints, more for the articulation at the elbows, And the shoulders will go up and down. They have a joint here and a joint there. And he suffers from the same back handle syndrome. Here's Columpio's partner. And you see, it didn't quite go down as far on this one, but it's still there. The peg actually goes into a crevice in here. They've really tried here, but I will say the bottom of the handle has some very nice detail of a Triceratops head. That looks really cool. And it is very, very spiky. This thing is almost like a tetanus shot waiting to happen. Now, Tekour does come with these two axes here. And I'll say something about these. His peg holes on his hands, they're not all the way through. And you want to be real careful putting these in and out because they will get stuck. So I only go about just enough for it to hold it steady. So yeah, just enough. Because I think P.I. actually, it looked like he broke his on camera. So yeah, you want to be careful with that. But on to Cubrar. He is a really nice looking Triceratops. Look at those big blue eyes. These huge curved red horns. Looks like something out of a Bugs Bunny cartoon with a big bull horn. He has You can see his face in there, kind of. But he does have a little flamethrower in his mouth, and you can fit his head further up in there. And kind of close him out so you can cover that up. He has a nice big silver frill. This isn't die cast or anything, although sometimes it feels like die cast. And man, these are sharp up here. In fact, everything you see that's a point on him, maybe not this so much, but he has some really sharp points. Articulation in the legs right here. Of course, all this is going to transfer over into the robot. Now, also when you have this guy in his Triceratops mode, you want to make sure these are pulled out as far as they can, because they actually collapse further in robot mode. You see they're kind of hitting the frill here, but if you just kind of pull them out a little bit, you'll get a lot more articulation and a lot more range on these shoulders here. On the bottom, no real kibble to show here. The back legs do have a joint here and one at this hind joint here. They are very stiff, very stiff. And of course up here there's a ball joint. There's also a ball joint up here in these shoulders too. Now, one thing that was really bothersome with this guy is this back section. If you look, it kind of doesn't want to stay closed. Now, my favorite reviewer, Pia, he actually put up a video showing off how to make this work better. But they included a set of instructions, and honestly, their instructions were a little bit better on how to follow it. This is the main step you want to watch right here, is when you go to push these back in when you're turning them into his robot mode. We'll kind of briefly go through that, and then you want to close up these panels, because they should close easy. You shouldn't have to force anything, really. And we'll look at that in a minute when we do the transformation. But yeah, now these are some expensive bots, but I tell you, I really like what Fansprojects was doing with their Dinobots. They're updated and they still hold enough of that nostalgia for me. So anyway, let's move on with the transformation. Before we get to Cubrar, let's get to Tekour here. What you want to do is fold up his arms at the double elbow joint here. Now this is a problem for me because when you pull this down, it really, I mean, there's no clearance here. There is no clearance, and honestly, he comes with a set of instructions here, but it doesn't really tell you anything past that point. It just says pop it right off, and there's nothing going back to the robot mode. So one way that I figured it out is to take this portion here, because it actually splits right here, and you can get a little bit of flexibility out of this. I kind of take it to the side and let it roll over like that, and then close up the handle. So you just want to take these and bring them up, and there's two pegs right here. They'll correspond to two holes here. Just peg those in. Take the feet, bring them down like this, and just fold them in and just kind of put those points together. Make sure it locks in on both sides, and drop the feet down. Now you want to take your two axes here, and there's this cutout here that's going to correspond to his foot. So you just kind of push those in like that, and there's a tab right there that's going to fit into where his calf was, and just kind of lock it in place. And do the same thing with the other side. Oops. You got to kind of get these two peg in together as well. And there you have a mighty, mighty axe. Really good looking weapon for this guy. Just for comparison, here he is with Drepan's weapon here, the nice pickaxe. So, yeah, they look a lot alike. I love the, this head is a lot bigger on here. I actually like this weapon better than I like the pickaxe, but, you know, they're unique. That's cool. So anyway, on to the transformation. First thing we want to start out with is his back legs here. Now these are just pegged in right here. So I want to unpeg those and bring them forward. Now here's that part I was talking about that might be a little tricky. Also that pegs in up there, so trying to get everything, don't come apart on me just yet. So anyway, now this is the part I'm talking about that's kind of problematic. What you want to do is just open these up. Now, what's going to happen is when you try to close these back, you're going to feel a lot of resistance, and it's not going to close like this. So what you just want to do is before you close these panels, you want to open these And if you'll look in there, you'll see that the hips are actually at an angle. You want those like that, but you want to push this part in. And that should give you enough room to close this up with enough clearance to actually make these parts marry together smooth like that. Yeah, so there you go. Anyway, continuing on with the transformation, just want to open up these panels, kind of just about there. Open this part up, and they do tab into this red part up here. Careful with that. Up on top, you want to take that and untab it. And you can start splitting the legs. What you're going to do is split these and kind of leave the tail down. And just kind of move them away from the body. It's better if I do one at a time. Yeah. So just fold that down, close that a little bit, and bring this down and actually tab in right there. Now the legs are actually very cool and do a lot better job than Columbia did. What you want to do is open up this panel, take this leg here. Well, the first thing you want to do is swivel this claw 180 and bring the foot around. And what you're going to do, this is going to end up being the heel spur for our Dinobot here. You just want to fold this in. You're on a double hinge system here. You got a hinge here and a hinge here, and then another hinge right here. So you kind of want to make sure that this one is horizontal while bringing this one up. And what you want to do is get that in that groove right there. Let me see what we're doing here. Because overall, you're trying to get this tab here to go into this cutout here. So you just kind of want to bring it up and just kind of work it down. I really wish you could, there we go, that gives you a better look at what I'm trying to do here. Just want to get that into that part, and there you go. So once you get that locked in, you can bring the foot down, close this back panel, and bring this panel down. So then you have his foot locked in there, and it's very flush. It looks good. I like what they did with the legs on Cubrar here more than they did with Columbia, because they just sit on the side. And same thing with this side. You just want to take that panel, you want to turn the foot around first. Bring that all the way forward. And like I said, we're just trying to get that panel to go right in there, and just kind of, there you go. Bring it down, and you pretty much almost have the legs. Take these and rotate them up 180 degrees, and there you have his knees. Excuse me. And then take the hips here and just bring them back up. Sometimes during the transformation they will make their way back up into there. So you just want to kind of make sure those are flush with the sides of the red here. Take these little panel skirts and bring them down. Let's just go ahead and raise our camera up because he's starting to get big. Alright, so now we'll move up to the chest portion. You want to take his frill first off and split it and bring it down like that. That gets this part out of the way because you want to get these panels. You see right here where that red meets the gray, you want to bring these up. And you got to kind of work them past the silver frill a little bit. Just want to kind of leave those there. Take the chest and split it. And just kind of, once again, you got a double hinge system in here. Rotates it forward, but you just want to move it back. Take this panel and go ahead and move it up, and you'll see there's a tab on each side and a tab on the other side of the chest. Just want to kind of bring those together and tab that one into there. Now you're starting to get some bulk. Take these panels here and rotate them 180 degrees up or down, whichever way you're going with yours. And you got some little blue detail in there. Take these and make sure they're down. What you want to do is take this tail piece, and you've got a hinge here and a hinge there. Just bring it up, and you'll see there's 2 holes on either side of his tail. You got 2 little posts right here. Just going to bring that flush with his body like that. You can close these panels up around into those 2 holes. Now straighten out his tail. Also, his tail had 2 points of articulation. Actually, 3 points of articulation. I really didn't show that off. Really great on that one. Anyway, now the head. You've actually got a joint here and a joint here. This is going to reveal the head. So what you want to do is bring this down first. Not here so much where the jaw is dropping, but like right here, and it's a really stiff joint. Once you get him down far enough, you kind of want to move your finger up to the head. And there's a tab here inside the chest, and there's a little slot right here. So you're just going to bring this down, kind of working the head down still, get down there. There we go. And close that. And I can't really show it to you, but you can kind of feel when it starts to hit itself and lock in. It's just friction. And there's the flamethrower. You just flip that back into the cavity behind his head. And there you, oh man, I'm sorry, we've totally forgotten the hands. Now what's cool about the hands is they have this little panel here. You open that up and you can see the fist down here. Well, as you bring the claws back, the fists automatically pop out. And I really like that. Something we saw with Columpio too. So yeah, just panel up and pull this down. Fist pops right out. And here we have hold on, here we go. Ah, jeez. And here we have Cubrar in his robot mode. Now this is a nice, just big, strong looking bot here. Really cool. I really love the design on this guy. And he's a lot beefier than Columpio. And now for a size comparison, here he is with his Bronto Bro. Now, the problems that Columpio had with loose hips have really been corrected. He feels a lot more solid than he does. Also, he's bigger, and I think it should be the other way around. He's got a better leg transformation. It almost seems like these were made by 2 different companies almost, but, you know, hey, once you've made a figure, you don't really get it back. Articulation-wise, you do have a little bit of motion here on the feet, but it's more because the joints are going to start popping out, so you want to be careful with that. You've got double-jointed knees, nice ratchety joints. You got a swivel at the thigh, and they will go back and forth as well. These side skirts will move out of the way. You've got no waist articulation. He does have waist articulation, doesn't he? But his tail, I think, keeps him locked in. Yeah, he actually does have some some waist articulation. But if you lock the tail in per the transformation, you're going to lose that. So, yeah, just be careful twisting him at the waist with the tail locked. Got ball jointed shoulders. Be careful. Mine actually do pop out quite often. But yeah, he's got a wide range of motion there. As you can see, he's got a hinge inside of this arm, which allows him to go out pretty far. The elbows are just, they're double jointed, but you're not going to get a lot of range out of here. Again, if you move them up, you can pretty much get 90 degrees. The wrists are on swivels, and they open up. They're just one solid piece on the fingers, though. The head is on a ball joint, and it's a very stiff one, but you're not going to get a lot of motion because the flamethrower is still back there, just bumping around. So, and his neck will pop out. And his collar there will pop out. Once you get him standing, he stands very well. It's just getting him locked into the right position. Now he does have his dual blasters. He seems a little back heavy right now. And you would be correct, he is a little back heavy. And it seems like he fits his guns loose, but actually once you tighten up his fingers around them, they do sit in there pretty well. See, he's got those dual blasters there, and those look really cool. Storage-wise, you can put these on his back. I like Stormak here because I like him with his melee weapons. Seems more Dinobot-ish. Have your melee. So yeah, those 2 tabs, you can fit those in right back there. As far as his sword, now the guns, they fit really loose, but the sword and his axe weapon, they fit really secure. Where is, there it is. But this one you're going to have to open up his hand and kind of fit this in there. Once you get it past the thumb though, come on, get in there. Oh, you actually got to bring it down a little bit further just because of the... Man, everything's starting to collapse again. Stay together here. There we go. Let's hope I don't break this damn thing on camera. So yeah, there he is holding his massive axe weapon. Now these guys feel like Dinobots. I mean, the melee weapons, the chunkiness of them, even the fact that they have sharp edges kind of makes me just really they're to be respected is what they are. Really great robot. This is definitely an improvement over Columpio. If you had any doubts after getting Columpio, Tekour here, I'm sorry, Cubrar is very good and well worth the price. And I got to make sure I get Swoop as soon as he becomes available. So anyway guys, that's it for me for Toy Review Tuesday. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll catch you later.